So you want to be a champion? If you don't, why not? The first thing that you should do if you want to have an exceptional life, whether it's as an athlete or in every other aspect of life, is to have your physical appearance match with your image of yourself. That's one of the most powerful things that you can do to get started on this journey. If you're not feeling super proud of the way that you're living, or if you just know that you could do a lot more, you'd like to do a lot more, and getting in a shape where you look at yourself, you feel your body, and you feel great about that is something that you should experience, that I encourage everyone to work towards. I know on some level, everybody wants that. Everybody wants to be in a body that feels extremely capable, that they can enjoy using, that when they see it in the mirror, they feel proud of it. So a starting point for that is the Lean Countdown diet. It is a method for getting into the best shape of your life. The first thing is that you have to want to be in good shape. Know that being in better shape is going to make it easier for you to build a business, to find the partner that you want, to have the esteem to get the job or the role that you want. There is no real negative to having your optimal body. And for most, that means getting leaner. Our natural state is to be leaner. If you look at what men looked like hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, following ancestral lifestyles and ancestral diets, they didn't look like Homer Simpson. Modern man, 95% of men are overly fat. Not everyone's overweight or obese, but being overly fat, just not quite bad enough that you feel terrible about it, but not good enough that you're really buzzing and that you have your spirit in alignment with what you really want to do. That's the place that you probably find yourself. Most of the men that I work with start like that. Just a bit fat, just a bit, not really trying hard at business, not really trying hard with relationships, not really pushing their training along. It's been a while since they did something different. This is an opportunity for you to do something different and to use this as a catalyst to be able to move ahead with those other areas. If you'd like to work together to move ahead with those other areas, I'm currently working with 250 men who've made the decision to live excellent lives. They're building businesses, they're building excellent bodies. We have leaderboards, we have challenges. It's a fun thing. I love building teams. I used to work with a team of 40 players and we had the challenge to become the world champion, the world's best team in rugby. Now I get to have as many players on my team as I can recruit, and I get to develop them in every way possible, where in rugby it was really mostly about just helping them to win on the weekend, helping them to not get injured and stay on the field and all those, be able to play the game better. But they weren't that open to the conversation of having an excellent life, building businesses, and the other challenges that I wanted to put to them, the other conversations that I wanted to be having. That's why I left professional sports, so that I could build a game that would have more meaning. And it's working. I've been playing this game now for 10 years. Dozens of the men that I've worked with are now millionaires. They have huge businesses. They've got all sorts of respect. They've done things better than me. And that's the goal of a great coach, is to guide others to be able to do great things. I know I've still got a long way to go in my own development. I think I'm maybe at 10% of what I am capable of in terms of building businesses and understanding myself, and even physicality. Like, there's so much further that I could go. Even though I'm 40, I know that I haven't applied a lot of the best things that I know about. So the fun is in doing that. The fun is in you doing that, going on that journey together, challenging each other. No one can get to elite levels alone. Everybody who's doing something amazing has a team around them. Whether you know who that team is or not, they're not doing it alone. Even the fact of having a massive following or a podcast, that is the team. Joe Rogan has this massive accountability around him now because he's always speaking to these world experts. So his brain needs to be functioning well. He needs to, he checks in with himself from time to time when he does start getting fat or some area of his life is off track. He's got that to bring him back on course. I want you to have that as well. I want you to get back on course faster. So that's what we're doing here with this Lean Countdown diet. It's not overly difficult, gentlemen. The reason why I've started this first 4.5 minutes talking about the background for it is because the process is simple. The how is easy. It's the why that most are struggling with. So if you can give me that why of, I'm worthy of this, I would like to have an excellent life. Most men honestly can't say that they've made the decision to have an excellent life, to have life on their terms, to buy the land that they want, to have the village that they want, to do the travel that they want, to speak the languages that they want, to have the family that they want, to do the homeschooling, to eat the food that they want. Not many men have really committed to that. So this is step one of the commitment to an excellent life. Don't worry about all the big stuff. Don't worry about that you have to make millions of dollars and you have to have a big following and you're going to build a community or you're going to play a really important role in a movement that changes the world. Don't worry about any of the big stuff. Don't worry about having a farm. Don't worry about having a village. Just do this one thing with me and let's see if that can help us to go to another place. Get in the best shape of your life. Commit to getting in the best shape of your life. In 5 days, you will see a significant change in your body following this method. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's the system that Charles Poliquin used. It's the system that Vince Gironda used to an extent. It's been used in elite sports, elite bodybuilding. Most don't know about it. A lot of dietitians would tell you that it's rubbish or that it's dangerous or blah, blah, blah. But my experience is that it's simple, it's effective, it's a short-term approach. Some will say, well, don't do anything that's a short-term approach. Is that how things work? Is that how life works? When the Olympics are on, it's the Olympics. It's not on all the time. It's a short-term thing. You go hard at what you're doing. You need to be prepared for that time. You go hard at it, and that defines your life. So this can define your life. This can open up new belief in yourself. All you have to do is eat lean meat. Lean chicken, lean beef, lean lamb. Seafood actually works even better. Lean fish. Eat lean fish. 5 days. Is it that hard? I've not eaten for 7 days. I fasted for 7 days before my son was born because I wanted the mental challenge to see if I could do it, to see what the experience would be. The first few days I did 20 RM squats. I'm not saying it was intelligent, but I'm saying I give myself challenges as well, and this is not that challenging. What it is very effective. So rather than, you could fast for the 5 days and be like, yeah, well, that's more challenging and that's what I'm going to do. But by using this approach and training well, challenge yourself with the training volume. If you train a lot and you follow this diet, then you'll have an extreme change. You can add muscle because the protein is there. The way people talk to you about how body composition works, it just doesn't work that way. If you create enough demand in the tissue, then protein will deposit there. You will be insulin sensitive. The proteins, the amino acids will store in the muscles. You have all the energy that you need. You're already storing, everyone is already storing days and days of calories on their bodies. Even the leanest people, most people months and months, some years and years worth of calories stored with us. So the energy is there. You're going to be burning the energy. It's not that you won't have energy. You always have energy. The energy is always there. The thing is, your body uses the energy that it's got stored, and then it stores some protein because there's demand for that in the tissues. So if you want to challenge yourself with the training volume and stick to this nutrition. And in 5 days, you will see such a significant shift that you will start to look at yourself differently. And this is a catalyst because when you start to look at yourself differently and you start to feel differently, then you are different and you can continue to be different. When the self-image changes, everything changes. When you see yourself as a world champion and you know that it's important for you to be in shape, do you think it's easier for a pro boxer to get cut than it is for you? Than it is for the everyday person who thinks, well, no one actually cares. No one really cares if I eat this donut or not. No one's going to know. But you know, and you have to live with yourself, and that's the toughest thing. I'm getting old, I'm getting a few silvers coming through. With age, maybe there's a certain degree of wisdom. I'm challenging you to live a better life. I'd love to see you live a better life. I've laid this challenge down to professional athletes, challenging them to be able to jump higher, to be able to lift a bigger weight. I set standards. All the big boys needed to be able to power clean 140 kilos. Not everyone did, but our worst was better than most teams' best. And our best was by far the best in the league. 155 kilo power clean, 118 kilo man. We were very, very physically dominant. We had a great coach as well. There were many factors. We had great players. I was just doing my role in the team. What is your role in the team? Your role right now in this team is to get an amazing result and share that result with the other brothers. Play a leadership role. Most people who listen to this are going to sit in the background and be like, oh, just check it out, see what everyone else is doing. That's a loser. Lead. Step up. You're invited here. Share your story. Share your physique. Share the process. You can catalyze $1 million business from how you play this next 5 days. You can't believe that, and you wouldn't believe that, but I've seen it happen over and over again, where you don't need to be getting paid by the community that you're adding value to. You just add value and your life transforms. Ben Patrick worked for Real Movement for 2.5, 3 years. I didn't pay him. There was no contract. There were no requirements. But he gave lectures. He was there consistently. His biggest audience was in Australia for those years. He transformed the lives of dozens of those coaches. Most of them aren't involved now with that system, but their mentality changed. They grew audiences. They redefined themselves. They redefined their lives. Ben was like, okay, I'll help you out with what you're doing over there. At the same time, was I helping him out with ATG? 100%. Was he getting ideas? 100%. Would ATG Zero exist if he didn't decide to work for free for Real Movement? No chance. We were doing these bodyweight programs because it was COVID. And that's been 80% plus. It's a lot of the business of ATG is ATG Zero. So I can help you to have your own version of ATG Zero. I can help you to be able to build a big audience and to build a big brand and travel the world and be a legendary, live this huge life that you can imagine for yourself. Maybe you can barely imagine it. I can help you to do that, but you're going to have to go through some initiation phases. I've initiated myself into many of these challenges by seeing them at a distance and applying them. But what I've been able to do is bring a community along with me. When there's other brothers around me doing this, that's created the leverage for change. I made $1 million with a network marketing business because I was the first one in Australia to listen to Joe Rogan and Tim Ferriss talking about these exogenous ketones and think, this is interesting. The world probably needs to know about ketosis, probably needs tools around fasting, probably needs to understand about autophagy. And I'm very proud of introducing those concepts to a lot of people. I don't work with that company anymore. It's been multiple years. I really worked hard there for maybe 6 months. And it was a great experience. More important than whether your business works or whether it's this business or that business or this program or that program, it's who you become in the process. So what I'm challenging you to do is to put yourself fully into this and understand that you're actually the one who has the most to benefit from sharing your story and from playing this full on. The investment here to get involved is $500 or less, depending on how you got invited into this opportunity. Just not a lot of money. It's nothing, really. Spend that every day. It costs more than that to live any kind of high quality of life. If you're eating organic food, if you travel, if you have friends, if you use quality technology, it costs more than that to live for one day. So it's basically for free that you're getting this opportunity. But maybe it's enough leverage for you to watch this video. And maybe this video is enough to get you thinking of like, well, yeah, maybe I should just do this process, see how it feels, consider that having a new body, new physical capacities, new group of men who care that I exist. It's very difficult to exist as a man if no one cares that you exist. Your mother cares, your wife cares, your children care if you've got them, and that's a blessing, and that's enough to keep a lot of men in the game through a lot of pain. But you don't have to create an extremely painful life for yourself. I understand pain. I understand what it feels like to not be sure if you want to have the next day. 100%. No matter how deep you've been, I understand. There's an alternative to that, and the alternative is being connected to people who care about you, who want to see you win. What's more important for men than being told you're perfect just the way you are is being told I respect you, I appreciate the work that you've put into that. I love what you've built. I get to say that to men all the time because they're building beautiful things. And then you feel amazing. It's not rocket science, but no one's told you a model of success. No one's explained to you how it really works, how your psychology works. I found a mentor who explained a lot of this to me. At some stage in the following messages and emails and correspondence, I will tell you about him and that journey, because it's the most important journey that I've been on. It's the journey of self-knowledge, self-discovery. This is an experience for you to discover more about yourself. You're a better man than you think you are. You're capable of so much more than what you've done. You're not your past. This can be a timestamp of, okay, that's how I lived before this thing. This is how I lived after it. Lean Countdown Diet was a switch. I look for these switches most days. Okay, this is it. This is it. Working on one-arm handstands right now. Started 7-ball juggling. Started this. Started the Uncommon Brotherhood. I love the start. I love putting new things out there into the world. You can see it's kind of a new day starting here in Mexico. The details are not really complex with this. Eat lean meat. If it's fattier, it won't work for you. If you eat too much fat, it won't give you the result that you want. You don't need the fat right now. You're going to use the fat that you've got stored on your body. You don't need carbs. Your body will make the carbs from the glycerol backbones of the fats, from the glycogen that's stored, from converting protein, amino acids into glucose. I understand that that might not be the most optimal thing for your performance over the next 5, 10, 25 days. I don't care. It's not about performance right now. Your performance will improve and it will be better on the back end of this. Many will get stronger, more powerful, they will be more athletic. If you're carrying a weight vest around with you, if you're carrying excess fat, your performance is suffering massively. If that fat makes you feel negatively about yourself, then it's a much bigger consequence. If that fat means that every time someone looks at you, they wonder, is he lacking discipline or does he just not care about being fat? If that's what someone's reaction is when they see you take your shirt off, like, you decide. If you want them to be asking themselves that question, is it that I can't trust this person? Can I trust this person? One way to be more trustworthy is to achieve concrete physical feats that people can say, well, yeah, at least he's done that. You can't fake 5-ball juggling. You can't fake multiple handstand push-ups. You can't fake the business building. Well, you can fake that you've made money when you haven't really made money. But if you consistently have students that are changing the world, so be that kind of man. Or don't, and just watch a lot of footy, drink a lot of beer, do what you need to do. I don't need you to do this. It's your decision. You have the opportunity here to step into excellence, to step into another version of who you could be. In my experience, it's much more fun. In my experience, it's much more rewarding. I personally can't live that life that doesn't really have a purpose, where no one cares if I get out of bed for the day, where I tick a box. The opposite of that is what I need. Even when I was working in professional rugby, where people cared and my job played a part in what they were doing, I still knew that this is not me. There needs to be another level. It was me for a little bit. That's the thing. We have to go through these constant evolutions. I'm challenging you to go through an evolution. Maybe this is the time that you needed to hear this conversation. What do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear your comments. Beginning to publish is a huge part of this process. The rejection of social media, the rejection of posting on social media is largely a rejection of self. You don't want to see yourself. You don't want people to see you. You want to sit in the background. But you can't win in the background. You can't win in the background. Come out of the background. Comment on what I've just shared with you here. What's coming up for you? Share your profile into the group. Put your photos in there each day. Do this challenge like your life depends on it, because it does. Your life does depend on your physique. It does depend on the respect that you win from others. Let's build it. Or don't. It's up to you. I'll be building it. There'll be hundreds of men here building it, maybe thousands. There have been thousands. There will be thousands more. The fun is in it. Connecting, seeing what we're capable of. Come challenge me. Challenge me first by getting in the best shape of your life and making me ask the question, ooh, maybe I'm slacking a bit on the physique side. Plenty of men are doing that. It's good. Every aspect of my life, I have that. It helps me. I want that for you. Let's go.